Welcome to the Cloud Connectors Mini Topics, where we cover a specific tool or technique to help you build, test, and scale your HR integrations. For the next 4 minutes, we're going to look at how the top-level status is set in the execution logs list. Inside any environment, you can look at your recent execution logs by clicking the Data and Activity menu in the top navigation bar and selecting Execution Logs. You can also get there using the keyboard shortcuts by typing G for the Go-To menu and then L for the execution logs. Once there, you'll see a list of log entries based on the parameters you've selected in the search menu, and you can click on any entries which are less than 90 days old in order to see the details of the transaction. But even without drilling down into the details of each workflow, you'll see that each log entry has a top-level status. If you click on the execution status dropdown in the search bar, you'll see all of them. Pending means it's queued to run but hasn't started. Running means it's currently active. Canceled, down at the bottom, typically indicates human intervention. You'll see this most often where there's an issue that causes your workflow executions to be delayed. In these scenarios, a support agent may cancel duplicate pending executions. The three in the middle, error, warning, and completed, are a little more subtle, and the discussion of these three statuses are the core purpose of this video. Going into the workflow editor, you can see that I've got the simplest possible workflow in place. The only nodes in it are the standard in, standard out, error out, and the exception handler, along with a log node as a stand-in for all the other nodes which may generate entries in your execution logs. Right now, my log node is set up with a simple message to log at the info level, and then the workflow terminates at the standard out node. If we run the workflow and look at the log entry for that execution, we'll see that it's got a green completed status. And if we drill down into the full log, we'll see the custom log entry. If we go back to our editor and run the workflow 2 more times, changing our log entries to error and fatal levels, we can check out the logs and see our custom error messages with the proper error level. But because the workflow still exits at the standard out node, the top level status will be completed. The exception to this rule would be if we were to go back and set the log level to warning and rerun the workflow. Then, when we go to the execution logs page, we'll see that the top level status is a warning due to the fact that there's one log entry which has a warning level status. Similarly, if we go back to the workflow and rewire it to always go out the error node, and then run it multiple times with the log level set to info, error, and fatal, and then run it one more time with the warning, then in the execution logs view, we'll see 3 runs that have the error status and 1 that has the warning status. So, in summary, any workflow execution which terminates at the standard out node will get a green completed status, unless some node within the workflow generates a warning level entry in the logs, in which case the top level status will be a yellow warning. And any workflow which terminates at the error node will get a red error status, unless some node within the workflow generates a warning level entry in the logs, in which case the top level status will be a yellow warning. In these examples, we've used the log node to generate our log entries, but any node could theoretically generate info, warn, error, or fail level log entries, and the rules detailed above apply regardless of which node generates the warning. One final note, I did not include tests with the log level set to debug. This is because the debug level is just like the error level, but it only logs the data when the workflow is executed in debug mode, meaning it was executed manually by a developer or was deployed with the debug log level set. Thank you for watching the Cloud Connectors mini topic on execution log statuses. Please check out all the mini topics in the Cloud Connectors channel.